in the heart of Barcelona, where art lives on every corner and music hums through narrow stone alleys, a street performer stood beneath a flickering lamppost in Plaça de Catalunya. He wore a faded replica of Lionel Messi's FC Barcelona jersey, long sleeves rolled up to the elbow. A shaggy brown wig sat under a makeshift headband, and a scruffy beard gave him a rough resemblance to the legend himself. His name was Mateo Ruiz, a 26-year-old former semi-pro footballer turned street artist. Injuries had forced him off the pitch, but not away from the game. Now, his act was a blend of freestyle tricks, juggling with a crushed soda can or worn-out football, and mimicking Messi's famous goals with theatrical flair and comic slow-motion replays. Tourists stopped. Locals applauded. Coins clinked into his tip hat. Not a fortune, but enough to get through the week. Mateo didn't know it, but someone was watching. Earlier that afternoon, Lionel Messi had arrived in the city under the radar. No grand appearances, no press. It was a quiet personal visit during an off-season break. That evening, walking with a small group of friends and security, Messi strolled through the city he once called home. Then he heard it. "Messi!" someone shouted in a dramatic announcer voice. Messi turned and saw the crowd, laughter echoing as the impersonator on the square did a theatrical dive, kissed the Barcelona badge on his chest, and held up a cardboard Ballon d'Or he'd made out of foil. It was silly, over the top, and oddly captivating. Messi grinned. Instead of walking away, he whispered something to his friend, pulled his hoodie further down over his face, and walked into the crowd like any other tourist. Mateo didn't notice. He was too focused on entertaining a pair of kids, balancing the ball on the back of his neck while one of them tried to snatch it off. The crowd laughed again. Just then, Messi stepped forward, tossed a euro coin into the hat, and said, "You're missing one thing." Mateo paused. He turned and froze. Even under the hoodie, even in the dim streetlight, he knew that face. "Messi," he whispered, eyes wide. Messi just smiled, pulled off the hoodie, and nodded. The crowd gasped. Phones came out. A flurry of murmurs turned into full-blown excitement. But Messi waved his hand gently. "Just for fun," he said. He picked up the ball. Mateo took a step back. What followed was something the people in that square would never forget. Messi began juggling, but not with any flair for the cameras, just pure control, quiet mastery. The ball clung to his feet like it belonged there. Then he passed it to Mateo. A one-on-one juggling duel began. Back and forth, ball over the head, ball off the back, headers, flicks, nutmegs. The crowd grew, cheering, filming, laughing. Mateo, nervous at first, began to loosen up. He threw in his signature move, balancing the ball on the back of his neck, then dropping it perfectly onto his heel. Messi clapped. He responded by reenacting one of Mateo's earlier fake dives, arms flailing as he fell in exaggerated slow motion. The crowd roared. It was Messi like no one had seen him before. Not the legend on a stadium stage, but the man laughing in the street, playing for joy. Finally, Messi took off the old jersey Mateo had been wearing and signed it. To Mateo, keep making people smile. Leo Messi. Then he reached into his coat and handed him something else. An envelope. Inside was a formal invitation. You've been invited to perform at a special FC Barcelona charity halftime show. Mateo's hands trembled. He looked up. Seriously? Messi nodded. You deserve to be seen. In the days that followed, the video of their street duel went viral. Messi versus Messi. The headlines read. TikToks exploded. News anchors smiled. People reposted the moment with captions like, "Wholesome overload," "Only in Barcelona," and "Why we love football." But the real story happened 2 weeks later. At halftime of a packed charity match at Camp Nou, Mateo Ruiz walked onto the pitch in front of 90,000 fans. No wig, no fake beard, just him. The announcer gave him a modest intro, but the crowd already knew. They cheered as he began his routine. Only this time, he wasn't mimicking anyone. He was performing as himself. After the event, sponsors began reaching out. A freestyle sports brand offered him a small deal. Schools invited him to perform. He was no longer a joke on the corner. He was an artist, recognized. And as for Messi, he never commented on the moment. No tweets, no interviews, just a gesture. A small act of recognition that changed someone's path. Not with money, not with media, but with time, attention, and a reminder that greatness doesn't come from being the biggest name in the room. Sometimes it's about recognizing the people who carry the spirit of the game, even on street corners, even in foil crowns.